Oh, right. Oh, we've already got John in here. We've got Amanda in here. We've got everybody in here now. We are live once again. Welcome back to the live show. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am one of your hosts, and joining me tonight is once again my amazing co-host, Abby Patterson. Abby, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. It's been a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
But I'm good. I'm good. Had Thanksgiving off. I hope that you had a good Thanksgiving as
I
well.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Celebrate anything Star Wars for Thanksgiving or kind of just laid low?
We just laid low. We went out to dinner. Me and my fiance live with our best friend, and we joined him and his mom. We just went out to a restaurant, had blue cheese crusted filet mignon for
Oh,
Thanksgiving dinner, and I have never been more happy in my life.
that sounds amazing,
It was
by the
so
way.
good.
That sounds so good.
It
Uh,
was very good. I was pleased.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, wife and I just went over to the in-laws and did that. FaceTime my parents, just to wish them happy Thanksgiving, but that was about it. Tried to read more of Greater Good, but it just was not working for me.
That's fair. That's fair. You gotta be, like, in the mood, A, to read, but B, to be reading, like, the material that you're reading.
Yeah, and because I actually just got Lesser Evil in the mail also.
Mm. Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll plow through Greater Good." And now I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna plow through Greater Good. I don't
No,
I don't think that's gonna work for me."
that's
Uh,
fair.
so I'll take my time with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have so much to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Um, we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian receiving a Grammy nomination for Ludwig Göransson's scoring. We're going to be talking
Mhm.
about the newly released photos for a little show that's coming out at the end of next month, The Book of Boba Fett. And we will be
A little show.
revisiting the Omega show featuring the Bad Batch to talk about our Book of Boba Fett predictions and how we think the two shows might tie together. And we have so much more to go with this. Before we get diving into all of the goodness, just a couple of announcements. We are, count them, 2 days away from our RPG show. Yes, our RPG show is coming back. John, if you are in chat, please say something. If not, that's fine. But yes, we are 2 days away from our RPG show, and we couldn't be more excited to be bringing that back to you. Say your name correctly, Eric. Oh, that's right. Omega. Omega.
Amiga.
Omega.
Omega
Uh,
from the hallway?
yes, Omega from the hallway. With Teak, Rika,
Rika.
Hunter, Eco.
In
Um,
Crosshair.
in Crosshair. Yeah. So yes, Omega. Um,
Amiga.
and I'll be sharing my thoughts on that here soon. But anyway, we are 2 days away from our RPG show. We cannot wait to bring that back to you guys. That will be at 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Yes, it's Stevie Palp's Cantina Rescue. So you might hear me talk like this, for part of it. Who knows? Oh no. Oh no. So we are doing that. Uh Abby said that perfectly. Yes, yes, she did.
I have few talents in life, but for some reason, accents is one of them.
Nice. So just a couple of other things for December. December 11th, my wife and I will be at Ocean City Comic Con, but don't worry, we are still going to be doing a live show that night. So mark your calendars for that. On December 18th, we are actually going to be getting together and talking about a little known movie called Rogue One.
Very underground. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not.
I think it was like an independent film.
Something like that, yeah. Maybe
Something like that.
Sundance, not sure.
They probably did debut it at Sundance for all we know. So there is that. Also, coming up, we are also going to be announcing the date for our RPG session for December very soon. And finally, beginning January 1st, New Year's Day, we are going to be breaking down the Book of Boba Fett. That's right. You are going to be getting weekly reviews and breakdowns for the Book of Boba Fett. Hashtag make Rogue 2. Um, there is a sequel to Rogue One. You might not have heard of it though. It came out years before Rogue One actually came out. It's called Star Wars. Yeah,
Little known movie franchise.
you know, one of the only the biggest independent movie of all time. So who knows? But we are. So yeah, we have that going on. And anything else that you want to announce, or are we good?
I think we're good on my end.
Okay. Well, that's good. Also, Comic Con from, or I wanted to say Comic Con from home. Uh, San Diego Comic Con Special Edition has been going on this weekend, but we haven't gotten
Yeah.
anything out of that at all.
I
Uh,
didn't think we would. This seemed like a last ditch, like, don't forget about us type of thing.
yeah, yeah. It just kind of feels like let's throw a bunch of stuff to the wall and see what sticks.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, I think it's great for the people who got to go. I'm
Hmm.
super excited for, like, actual Comic-Con next year, even though I found out there is a PTO blackout that week, because that's, when my company's quarterly meeting is gonna happen. But my manager is very adamant, knowing me, that she will finagle a way for me to be SDCC. Because I was like, "I've had these tickets for going on 3 years," and she was like, "You're gonna go." I was like, "Good."
Get her to Comic Con. That's all we're
Yeah,
asking.
right. Please.
Yeah, exactly.
I have few joys in life, and it's one of them.
All right. So shall we get into the news?
Yes.
All right. Do you actually want to go through the news topics?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, The Mandalorian is up for what is it? Nomination for Best Score Soundtrack for Visual Media for Season 2, chapters 13 through 16 because of Ludwig Göransson's soundtrack. Obviously we know the final episodes of the season featured a bunch of our favorite characters. We saw Boba Fett, we saw Bo-Katan, we saw Luke Skywalker. Major spoilers if you haven't watched that yet. I'm sorry, you should have.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but yeah, it did receive Grammy nominations for that, which I think is really, really cool.
Yes, I
Uh
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Ludwig Göransson like really pulled it out, and I remember season 2, I believe it was the first or second episode where he was walking into that like fight club. That might have been the first episode.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and it had kind of this like the soundtrack was a little more like high energy than what we saw in like the first season. And I remember looking over at Rob and being like, this is going kind of hard. Like he's pulling out the stops here. And
Yeah.
I think it's great that got, critical acclaim for that.
Yeah, Ludwig Göransson is one of the best, if not the best composer right now,
Hmm.
making content. Between Black Panther, which was an incredible soundtrack,
Hmm.
and then these first two seasons of The Mandalorian, he gave us he has given us so much with the Mandalorian soundtrack. Like it feels so familiar but so new at the same time.
Right. It's like the opening, or I guess like the credit
Hmm.
roll, whatever music, the theme music. It's so Star Wars.
Hmm.
It's so Star Wars, but it's so new. Like I basically reiterated what you just said, but it absolutely has that kind of like space westerny quality to it that you just instantly clock as like being part of Star Wars, but it's really different from kind of anything else we've really heard.
Yeah, 100%. Because like when you hear that dun, like this is something
Mhm.
completely different,
Yeah.
and it elevates it so much more. And just his way that he used the Force theme for Luke's entrance at the end of season two, like he
Oh,
didn't play on it too heavy.
yeah.
Like he made it its own thing, which I thought was fantastic because if there's one thing, The Mandalorian has been trying to set itself as something completely different outside of
Yeah.
like the main Star Wars story.
Mhm.
Um, and Ludwig Göransson's soundtrack like definitely goes with that, and
Yeah, absolutely.
it definitely helps further it away. Yeah, we had those connections because of Luke
Oh god.
Skywalker. What's up?
Sorry, my again, for the second time while I've been live, my background switched to something with theme music and now it's playing in my ear and I'm like, "Can you stop?" Sorry, continue. I'm just
No,
gonna change this real quick.
no, you're fine. But like I was saying, it's just really cool because like Luke Skywalker's appearance, like really connects the Mandalorian to like what's going on. But
Mhm.
this show does such a great job of separating itself from the overall Star Wars universe. And Ludwig
Yeah.
Göransson, I just butchered his name, and I apologize for that. But he does an amazing job of just making it his own and just
Yeah.
making it stand out. And like I said, just the way he uses these themes is incredible. So good on
Oh,
him.
yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
I hope he wins. Like I seriously hope he wins because he deserves it.
No,
And
I think that would be incredible. I think that would be so cool to see.
yeah, I mean the guy already won an Oscar for Black Panther.
Right.
Um,
Just, add it to your
yeah,
shelf of Oscars.
exactly.
God.
And now he's doing the music for the Book of Boba Fett. Like, oh,
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with that.
between him and Kevin Kiner, like Star Wars is in such a great place with music.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I finally just got my computer to stop playing the Adventure Time theme song into my headphones.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad that that ended up working out for you
Yeah.
there.
I was
Uh,
like, "What the heck?"
John in chat says the Mando soundtrack was insane. It really was.
Really?
It's I, I mean, I could talk about the soundtrack all day. Like seriously, I could talk about it all day because of just how just different it is. I mean, the g-
Yeah,
the guy uses bass guitars and electric guitars.
which is, like, very not what we've gotten,
Hmm.
but he uses them in such, like a nuanced way that it fits perfectly.
Oh yeah, and I could just sit down and listen to the Mando theme all day, like all day long,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I wouldn't get old. It wouldn't get old. And then, I mean, let's face it, like he's nominated for that finale. Like you can
Yeah.
tell he's nominated for that finale.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah,
It's the latter half of that season.
yeah. Not saying like the first half of that season isn't good
No, not at all.
with the soundtrack. It's just like the latter half of that season just hits hard. It hits so hard. Um,
He
yeah,
did not have to go that hard for us, and he still did it.
no, he didn't. Anything else to add about Ludwig Göransson's Emmy or Grammy nomination?
No, I don't know. I want him to win. That's it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, me too. Me too. Um, I just want the Mandalorian to win all the awards.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, the market is arguably a little bit saturated with all of the Baby Yoda merch that is out there, but that does not lessen my love for Mando at all.
Royal Farm Boy says there ain't no way we're ready to be told the stories of the Book of Boba Fett. I think you're right, bud, and we are going to get to that here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, let's move on to our second topic.
Speaking of the Book of Boba Fett, we did get new photos. We got a new, I guess it's a new trailer, even though it's like most of the same footage from like the first one that we got. I think just like pared down a little bit. But we
Yeah.
got new photos
hmm
that has the internet abuzz with theories.
Of,
And it is because, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know where you're going with this, and I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, so there is a picture where I think it's Boba and Fennec, right, in like the throne room,
Yes.
and they're facing off towards something, but whatever that something is has been redacted out of the picture. And I've been loving it because I'm seeing people Photoshop in like pictures of their dogs doing weird things. And like, I saw one that was like, baby Anakin in the Starfighter, like flying through the throne room and like stuff like that. But people are like kind of going crazy, being like, there's obviously something there, but they've like Photoshopped it out. Like, what is it?
Okay, so I have theories. I have theories, but I gotta tell you, like one of the funniest things I saw on Twitter was somebody photoshopped Klieg Lars sitting sitting in his hover chair.
I actually follow an account that is like, where is Klieg Lars today? And
Yes.
they'll be like, Klieg Lars is in Times Square, New York City. And I'm like, this is great. But I did not see that, and that is hilarious.
Yes, or Klieg Lars is listening to Taylor Swift's new album.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, God.
tune in next week for our Klieg Lars podcast.
Right? Yeah. Klieg Lars conspiracy theories.
Yes. So a lot of people have said it's they cropped out the Ithorian that we saw in the trailer.
Hmm.
I think that's one of my theories
Yeah.
because I think it'll be like too spoilery.
Hmm.
But what if it's Doc Ondar?
Oh. Okay.
Like you still have your Ithorian, but you make him Doc
Yeah.
Ondar.
Yeah.
Because it would kind of fit into the Galaxy's Edge timeline.
Hmm.
Even though Galaxy's Edge is 30 years after the original trilogy.
Right. It
But
could be a young Doc. Up and coming Doc Ondar.
yeah, I mean, it very well could be because he's mentioned in Solo.
Hmm.
Um, because he's actually on Jabba's, or not Jabba's sail barge, on Dryden Voss's ship.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, hey Maggie, how's it going? And yeah, I'm thinking that it could be Doc Ondar. I'm also thinking it's Cobb Vanth.
Okay, I could see it being Cobb Vanth because they obviously are on Tatooine.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh, and I want to know if that ties into how Cobb maybe got Boba's armor originally.
Well, he talked about how he got it.
Did he?
Yeah, like he was like wandering through the desert and came across the Jawas and came across the armor.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Um,
It all runs together.
seriously. I consume so much Star Wars media, it starts to
Yes.
cross.
Exactly.
Um, so my theory, and this is the only theory I have
Okay.
because I try not to think too hard. When it comes to stuff like The Bad Batch, I had just theories running rampant because it ties in with the Clone Wars, and that is my bread and butter. And I spent most of quarantine gaining an unhinged amount of knowledge about that specific show. So I had a lot of like kind of different running theories and like what I wanted to see or whatever. But since Boba Fett is not as much of an explored character beyond like a little bit, I think I watched the Under the Helmet thing and it said he had like a total of like maybe 10 minutes on screen and like less than 20 lines of dialogue, I think,
hmm
through the original trilogy. And then we saw him a little bit as like a baby child in the prequels and a little bit in Mando. I'm trying not to come up with too many theories because I really do want to be like surprised
hmm
and everything. But my theory, and this is going based on the fact that there is a line in the trailer, the preview trailer that we saw, that sounds like Din Djarin's voice. What if
Mm,
it's Din in the throne room? Because like if he's talking, like I don't I firmly believe that it's his voice in the trailer. So like if he's
mhm.
talking, they're probably not just gonna have him like one line and like not show up type of thing.
Yeah.
So that was my theory. It's a small theory, but it's
Y-
honest work.
Yeah, no, I love it. Just real quick, I'm looking at chat here. Maggie, don't be apologize. Don't apologize for cleaning. Um, Farm Boy says not going to be Doc Ondar, going to be a new character in my opinion. Okay, always be careful with expectations. That is true.
Mhm.
We as
Yeah.
Star Wars fans, we can speculate responsibly.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Um, but at the end of the day, we do need to like curve our expectations when it comes to
Yeah.
projects like this. I'm with you on the Din Djarin thing because they have clearly said this is Mandalorian 2.5.
Mhm.
So you do have to, outside of like Fennec Shand and Boba Fett, you do have to have another character kind of bridge the gap to make
Yeah.
this its own series. Um, yeah, what if Din is working with them in order to get like another spaceship or something?
Mhm.
Or
That was
he's,
kind of what I was like thinking.
yeah, or he's just like trying to do whatever he can to like find a purpose in life because he's no longer protecting Grogu.
He no longer has his acid space frog baby, so
Yeah. So I mean I love that idea and I hope it's true. I really hope it's true. Even if it's
yeah.
not even if it's not, we're still going to be surprised somehow.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's I mean it's just going to be wild. Also I think did we get a list of directors for Book of Boba Fett too? I thought we did.
I do not know.
All I know is that Robert Rodriguez and Dave Filoni are going to be directing 2 episodes of Book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett. Um,
Directors list.
was there any other
Robert
huge?
Rodriguez, Jon Favreau,
Hmm.
Bryce Dallas Howard, Dave Filoni, Steph Green, and Kevin Tancherowen. I don't know how to say that last name.
Oh yes,
But yes.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love that lineup, especially Bryce
Hmm.
Dallas Howard.
I
Like,
love her. I
oh,
love
me
her.
too. Directed 2 of the best episodes of The Mandalorian, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, were there any other photos? Like, I think like the other photos were just the same photos that we got beforehand.
I believe so. Yeah. Let's go away. Giant ad.
Yeah, there's the one of them
Um,
standing with the Gamorrean guard in the background.
mhm.
There's the that's Robert Rodriguez kind of teaching them how to fight. Yeah, that was about it. Besides the cropped
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah.
If you want to see more of these photos, you can actually check out the latest issue of Empire Magazine, which is where these photos have debuted. And that's that. Are we good on that until we swing back around for our main topic?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You want to hit us with the next one?
Rangers of the New Republic. Dead in the water. Not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
No.
Was barely alive to start with. Mainly because it was supposed to be Cara Dune centric, and as we all know, Cara Dune, we will find out how and in what way she has died or been yeeted into space, never to be seen again when season 3 of Mando premieres. So, not gonna happen. Not really a ton to talk about in that sense. It does kind of suck because we're not gonna see what is his name?
Oh,
Uh,
oh,
K- uh, Kim Sun Young Lee, right?
yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
which sucks. Loved him. Would have
Hmm.
loved to have seen more into his story and just like the Rangers in general. I think it was a really cool concept, and it sucks that it was tied to Gina Carpaccio, and I just come up with new names for her all the time.
It's fine.
Uh, so that sucks. I'm sad about it. Like I said, think it could have been a really cool concept, but it
Hmm.
is what it is. Hopefully, they will find maybe a different way to incorporate some of that story into something else.
Yeah, real quick, I gotta. John said, "R.I.P. Rangers, we hardly knew you."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think you can still do this show,
Hmm.
but you make Hera the lead,
I would love that.
and then you bring in Shriv from Battlefront 2,
Yeah.
and then you keep the X-wing pilots because you can bring in Trapper Wolf to that too,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
um, and just do it that way. Like kind of make it like another spiritual sequel to Rebels, like
Hmm.
and bring Hera into it because
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there are a lot of female Star Wars characters that you can use for this show,
Real.
and honestly, screw Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Just sorry if I upset anybody with what I just said. I apologize, but because of everything that she said and because of all of her actions, I can't support her. And
Yeah.
you would think that somebody playing a character as powerful as Cara Dune would actually kind of embody what that character stands for, and she just
Right.
does not.
Which it sucks because we were talking about this on last week's show.
Yeah,
When you cast certain people, you telegraph what you're expecting from that character. You cast Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shand, you're telegraphing who Fennec Shand is and what she embodies. So when they cast, Gina as Kara, you were supposed to be telegraphing this powerful, take no crap, like kind of kick butt woman who i- she was, but it
yeah,
just sucks that that is not something that played out in real life.
yeah. John, you mean Gina Archipelago? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. John knows. Like, as soon as that news hit, like, we were all of us. There were a bunch of us in another Discord, like, talking about it.
Mhm.
And this was months ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, Rangers of the New Republic not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
Um, and I mean, it is a bummer, but
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy's got to do what's right for the studio.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, she's the one that greenlights these projects, and she has the
Yep.
power to take them away.
Yeah.
And
Kathleen giveth and Kathleen taketh away.
yeah, and we can blame Kathleen Kennedy all we want for everything because a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, agree with Eric. Things folks cannot say while on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like what you and I were talking about before the show. When
Mhm.
you're hired by the mouse, like you have a higher standard to uphold.
Yeah. And I think people like don't quite understand like I can't just go to my 9 to 5 office job and be rude and not pay the repercussions for it. So I don't get why people don't understand that that applies to any and all job because even being an actor, an entertainer of any kind, that is still a job. It's a very public job, but it is still you still sign the contract and you still follow the code of conduct and all of that. And for better or for worse, the mouse is very strict on what you can and can't do. And
Yeah.
it's that's just the way that it is.
And think of all the NDAs that you have to sign. Think of like
Yeah.
all the legal documents that you have to sign. And you mean to tell me the mouse isn't looking at your social media?
Seriously.
Um,
I I literally do tech support. I
yeah,
don't see any of the people that I work with face to face, but I had to sign a legal binding contract that I cannot do anything social media wise. I can't name the company. Like it just
yeah,
you just can't. Like and because I am a representative of my company and so is every single person who works for
hmm
every production company no matter what it is.
yeah. For me, for the airline that I work for, I've told a few people what airline I work for, but I don't really tell a lot of people because
Yeah.
it's one of those things that, you know, they keep track of everything that I say, everything that I do on social media. So,
Yeah.
even with this, me saying screw you, Gina Carano, I mean, that's like as far as I can go in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this could have been a great show.
It really could have.
This could have been a really great show.
Yeah.
And, it we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. They could still bring it back at some point, but
Rework it
honestly,
a little bit.
yeah, but honestly, I think they'll just move forward. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
I think we spent way too much time talking about this, and that's my fault. Uh,
No, you're good.
so let's move on to the next topic here, which kind of ties in with this topic, and
Hmm.
that is about a certain studio head slash producer.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Re-signing a little contract with a little
extend.
company. Couldn't think of the word there. I was like,
Yeah. So Kathleen Kennedy has re-upped her contract as head of Lucasfilm. So all of the crying fanboys can continue to cry about
yeah,
the direction of Lucasfilm and where they're going.
yeah.
Um, we all knew Kathleen Kennedy wasn't going anywhere.
No. But Star Wars is dead, all of that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Star Wars is dead. Um, yeah, tell that to the thousands of people that go to Galaxy's Edge every day.
yeah.
Um, tell that to the billions of dollars the sequel trilogy made for Lucasfilm.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Personally, I will always fight for everybody to have the right to their own opinion. It's when you take it to certain extremes that A, it's
Hmm.
cringy, B, you should go touch some grass,
Yeah.
and C, you should stop being mean to other people for their right to have a differing opinion. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I totally agree with that. Um, I haven't agreed with every decision Kathleen Kennedy has made when it comes
Yeah,
to
absolutely not.
Lucasfilm, but I will say this: regardless of how you feel about the sequel trilogy, she proved that she could do it. Um, Also, The Mandalorian and Clone Wars season 7 and The Bad Batch made Disney a lot of money with Disney Plus subscriptions.
Seriously.
And they're
Seriously.
taking that into consideration as well.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy also has more book readers now than Lucasfilm had in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys didn't hear they decanonized the sequels and canceled the entire High Republic project like 6 times? No, I was too busy being called a High Republic shill, or a Disney shill. I wish I got paid by Disney, thank you.
Right? Seriously.
Yeah,
If Disney, anytime you want
yeah,
to send us anything, we will talk about it.
we'll take care packages.
Hmm.
We'll even send you our addresses like right
Right?
now on the show.
I
Um,
will dox myself if it means that
yeah,
I get.
yeah, but like, I, John and I have talked about the sequel trilogy. And I use John as an example, and I'm sorry, buddy, but he didn't really like the sequel trilogy, and that's fine. But
Yeah.
and me, I thoroughly enjoyed the sequel trilogy. I think it can be a little bit of a mess at times,
Hmm.
especially with some decisions that are made, but I enjoyed it for what it was. And if you have that opinion like, well, I didn't like it because of this or like this decision that they made, that's fine. It's when you start criticizing people um, by saying, well, they don't like straight white men and like all this other stuff. I'm sorry. When you say keep politics out of Star Wars has been and always will be political.
Are you watching the same movies that we are? Like,
Yeah.
I had to get close to the mic because I'm just like, Star Wars is literally like an entire thing based on like war and like war profiteering
Yes,
oh my God, it's literally all of it is political. They
I know.
and I'm gonna, as I always do, jump into
You're
like
fine.
examples from
You're
the
fine.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
They have the Kaminoan senator is named Halle Bertoni. What do you think that is? Could it be Halliburton?
Yeah.
Could it be an exposition on war profiteering? Like
Yeah.
it's always been political.
It always has been and always will be. And then they say like there's a social justice agenda. I'm sorry, the rebellion fought for social justice issues.
Yeah. Or saying things like Star Wars is too woke. How like what does that's such a like a straw man argument to me. I'm like, what do you think about it is woke? Because there's like
Yeah.
black actors that they cast. I don't get where this comes from because they have like a whole cast of different
Hmm.
people from different racial backgrounds. Is that woke or do people just simply exist and sometimes their jobs are actors and they get hired to be in a project? I don't get it. I will never understand that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, John, the prequels were, it was all politics.
It really was. It really was. And a lot of Clone Wars is politics.
It literally is. Like,
Like,
the,
yeah,
yeah, it's,
yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
fine. I'm fine.
no, I think that this is a discussion that we need to have with this Kathleen
Yeah,
Kennedy discussion
yeah.
because you guys can like talk about all of these bad decisions that Kathleen Kennedy has made. We can talk about bad decisions that she's made till we're blue in the face.
Hmm.
But it's still not going to change the fact that what was told was told. I'm sorry,
Exactly.
the sequels are not going away.
Hmm.
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are not inserting the world between worlds to retcon the sequel trilogy. It's
No,
not happening.
no,
Just like Gina Carano is not coming back.
no.
You
And even
know?
on top of that, it's always people who like hate the sequels, but then they'll be like, "Oh my God, Mandalorian is amazing. Oh
Oh,
my God, I'm so excited for Book of Boba Fett. Oh my
yes.
God, season 7 of the Clone Wars was the best thing that's ever
Yes.
happened." It's like you realize Kathleen Kennedy has her finger in every single one of those pies. Like
Yeah.
she's not. People will be like, "Oh, it's the Filoni verse." Like, no, it's not. It is literally all out of Lucasfilm. Yes,
Yeah.
there are different heads of different projects, but Kathleen Kennedy green lights everything. What
It,
she says goes.
yes. And I am tired. I am tired of people calling it the Filoniverse. It's not.
No.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
If anything, it's the Lucasverse.
It really is. Oh, this gets away from George's original vision. I'm sorry. George wanted to explore the Force a lot more than what was explored in the sequel trilogy.
And like on top of that, like regardless of like who owns Lucasfilm, who's running what, like George is still the god king of Star Wars.
Yeah.
There has not been anything that he has not somehow at least like commented on. Because if
Yeah.
he goes, that is the dumbest crap I've ever heard of in my life and I hate it, they're probably going to be like, back to the
Yeah.
drawing board a little bit on it. Like he still is the heart of all of these stories.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but whenever they're filming a new project, he's on set for at least like a week,
Yeah.
like checking out the project.
Yeah.
He was on the set for Solo for an entire week when they were filming that
Mhm.
movie, just
Yeah.
giving his approval of everything and
Yeah.
just telling Lawrence and John Kasdan like what worked for the script and what didn't work for the script.
And I mean, not that scripting is George Lucas's strongest point,
It
but
isn't.
he has an idea of what is inherently Star Wars.
I must be out of it. Never heard of the Filoniverse.
I just it's these people I saw this movement called Lucas Night going around on
Oh,
Twitter and it's like
yeah.
restoring the original blah 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 and bringing it back to so and so who stole it from George. No, George willingly brought other people in and ceded some control
Yeah.
because he trusted these people. It's not like someone came in and like knocked him over the head with a brick, tied him up, and was like, "Looky here,
Yeah,
we're making
exactly.
the sequels like this." Like that's not how it happened.
Yeah, and I think that this is something that we need to talk about like
Hmm.
right now. Um
Yeah,
Amanda says I have heard of the Favreauverse. Even then, like
yeah,
it's so dumb.
it really is,
As
and
much
it's.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, as much as I love Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they would tell you the exact same thing. It's not our universe, it's George's universe. We're just
Yeah,
playing in it.
and it's just a lot of people who think that they are somehow better people, better fans,
Oh, I
blah blah
know.
blah. I put a lot of work on my social media pages into trying to make it a welcoming place,
Oh, yeah.
especially for, like, girls and younger girls. Like, I'm 30, but I have a lot of friends across different platforms who are younger than me and are constantly getting belittled and berated and bullied simply for the things that they like, and I grew up on the prequels back
Yeah.
when people didn't like the prequels. And
Yeah.
now people look at them like they're the ancient holy texts, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy the way that people will find a way. God, my computer's doing the background noise again. People will find a way to try and make themselves feel better because it
Yeah.
doesn't take any work whatsoever to be mean. It takes work to be nice, and people don't wanna do that.
Yeah. I agree. And I think like we're seeing like this renaissance of the prequel trilogy right now,
Mhm.
which is fantastic. But I will tell you this. What has made the prequel trilogy better? Subsequent material such as the Clone Wars and comics and books. And guess what's
Mhm.
going to change the mind of a lot of these sequel haters? Comics and books
Yeah.
and series that are set in the sequel trilogy. And it's already
Yeah.
beginning to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Amanda, the sacred
What
texts.
sacred texts?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I can't believe that we're having this discussion, but we need to have this discussion.
In the year of our Lord 2021, we're
Yes.
still having to talk about this.
I mean, and don't get me started on the people that constantly hate a movie that is 4 years old.
Get a hobby, my guy. Like, come
Yes.
on. And not that. That's not a hobby. That's you just like go outside, I beg you.
Touch some grass.
Touch some
Seriously, get
grass.
some air.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie is 4 years old. Regardless if you like it or not, it happened. It's canon.
I don't love this. I love The Force Awakens. Loved it.
Hmm.
Don't love the sequels
Yeah.
half near as much as I love the prequels and the
Hmm.
original trilogy.
Yeah. And John just hit the nail on the head here. He said exactly. The prequels were hated, but that was our trilogy.
Yeah.
When we grew up, that's what connected us to Star Wars. And that's the same thing that's happening now with the sequels. People need to chill. Exactly. Because a lot of people's like especially now, if you look at the younger generation now, a lot of kids, their first introduction to Star Wars was the Clone Wars. Was
Yeah.
the Clone Wars animated series.
Yeah.
And they had no idea what was going on.
Nope.
But they became fans because of that show.
Yeah.
Um Maggie, the Last Jedi literally lives in their heads rent free. It does.
Seriously,
It
it
really
really
does.
does.
And you know what? I think that's fantastic. Like that they are that triggered by that movie, but it's regardless that I think that movie's a masterpiece. Outside of the Finn and Rose thing,
Yeah.
I think that movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
Last Jedi is probably my favorite of the sequels, which is funny because everyone seems to hate it. Yeah, but here's the thing: a lot of people hated Empire when Empire first came out.
Yes. It's always the middle movie because people don't love Attack of the Clones.
No,
Like, I love Attack of the Clones,
I
but
like
that
Attack of
like
the Clones.
the thing to me is like you said, this is what like our generation grew up on. To me, the prequels is Star Wars. And
Yeah,
to my grandfather who, was older, but he saw the original trilogy in theaters, the original trilogy to him was Star Wars.
yeah,
And to the kids who are now coming up on the sequels, to them that is Star Wars. And like who is anybody to take that away from someone?
exactly. That's where gatekeeping comes into play here in this
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy discussion. Kathleen
Yeah.
Kennedy is not gatekeeping.
No.
She is not gatekeeping at all. She's not getting rid of, for those of you that are saying, "Oh, they're getting rid of the single straight white male." No, that's not happening.
No.
It's not happening. They're just trying to be more diverse. That's it. They're trying to tell an all-inclusive story.
And like people of color exist. And again,
Yes.
like some of them go into the profession of acting, and if they met the marks for the characters that they wanted to portray on the screen,
Yeah.
why would they not hire them? I don't it is mind-boggling to me the
Yeah,
way that people think.
it is. And I got to tell you, John Boyega is one of the strongest actors in the sequel
Oh my
trilogy.
god, he really is.
Just, I mean,
Just an incredible human
oh
too.
yeah, and such a great activist too. Like
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic activist. John says plot twist: Boba Fett as a Palpatine. LOL. Triggered.
Triggered!
Yeah, I mean, it's and that's another thing that I mean, stop blaming Kathleen Kennedy for writers' decisions. Kathleen Kennedy Kathleen Kennedy said, "Okay, yeah, this is the script that you should use." She read the
Mhm.
script, greenlit the script, and said, "Okay, go into production." She
Yeah.
doesn't have to defend the Ray Palpatine choice.
No.
Nobody has to defend the Ray Palpatine choice except for J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
And, blaming her for Ray Skywalker, shut up. Attack of the Clones is my favorite prequel movie. It came out when I was 6, so it was the first Star Wars movie I really remember.
Aw.
And that's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
because you said that you were 8 when you saw Phantom Menace.
I was 7 or 8 when Phantom Menace came out, and
Yeah.
then, I didn't see Attack of the Clones in theaters, but I did get to see, Revenge of the Sith in theaters.
Okay, so that had to be
Um,
like a huge moment for you.
oh my god, sitting in the theater with my grandparents as, like, the Mustafar lava duel du jour is happening, I'm just sitting there like, like, the entire time, it was
Yeah,
amazing, but, yeah, like, that is to me, that's my bread and butter within the Star Wars, like,
it's
universe.
okay, Halo. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, no,
yeah.
don't ever be sorry for being late, anybody.
No, no, exactly. But
Um,
yeah,
yeah, it's just to have the gall, the gumption, the audacity to say that you are better than somebody and that somebody is not a real fan for liking what they like is ridiculous.
yeah. And I'm sorry, but you can call me an idiot. Not you, but people can call me a Disney shill all they want. They can call me a Lucasfilm shill all they want. But you know what? I'm still going to read the books. I'm still going to read the
Yeah,
comics. I'm still going to watch all the animated shows. I'm still going to watch live action shows. I'm still going to watch the movies. And I'm
yeah,
still going to go to Galaxy's Edge. Disney's
mhm.
going to get a ton of my money because you know what? I like the product that they're producing.
I did pay $18 for a mouse droid popcorn holder, and I would do it again.
Exactly. Um, but that's my point though. Like I like the product that they're putting out. I may not agree
Yeah,
with everything, but I like the product that they're putting out. That doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't make me a shill.
no.
That doesn't make me any less of a fan.
And
Um,
also, like, you don't have to like everything that's put out.
no.
It's okay not to like it. You do like, when Visions came out and people were like, "Anime is not my bag." Totally cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But
You are entitled to dislike certain parts of any cinematic
mhm,
universe, and to sit here and complain because they aren't pandering to your specific vision of what
mhm.
something is. Star Wars is not yours, it is everybody who is a fan of Star Wars's. It
Yeah.
belongs to everyone.
Yes, exactly. And I got to tell you, with Visions, How many anime fans became Star Wars fans because of Visions? And how many Star Wars fans became anime fans because of Visions?
Yes. And I'm a fan of both, so I was
Yeah.
hyped up for it. And
Oh,
that first like couple minutes of the duel, I was like slack-jawed. Like
yeah.
I thought it was so great and people were so mad about it.
Oh, yeah. Farm Boy in chat says, I'm old enough to remember when The Empire Strikes Back got hate. 1980, I was 13. I never understood. Exactly.
No.
Exactly. I don't understand where all this hate is coming from. It's just people are just. I know a lot of people don't like the Freddie Prinze Jr. rant that he had, where he was talking about. Have you not seen that? I'll have to show it to you
No.
sometime.
Oh, maybe
So,
I did.
yeah, he was on this podcast and he was talking about like the sequels and all these fans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "You're just mad that the movies didn't age with you."
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we have to just keep in mind. I've said this again on this show, and I will say it again and again and again until my dying breath. These are movies about space wizards that happen to be political.
Top of that, when you look at the difference between dialogue,
Hmm.
costuming, style of jokes, the original trilogy so different from the prequels.
Oh
The
yeah.
jokes fit the jokes of that era. And
Hmm.
then, as with the original trilogy and then as with the sequels, like you would have like the line where Chewbacca was like roaring and the nurse was like, "Oh, I'm sure it hurt very bad," or whatever it was. Like
Hmm.
it's the humor is keyed into whatever is kind of like the sense of humor of that generation
Hmm.
and the dialogue and everything. Like, no, it's not going to age with you. These are technically kind of like shows and movies for kids,
Yeah.
adult children included. I am one
Yeah.
of those,
Oh yeah. I'll
but
always be a kid.
there always has to be an element of like the an element of context of that generation and like
Hmm.
so no, you're not going to get the same stuff that you got in the original trilogy in something that takes place and was made 30 to 40 years later.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
I agree with that because if you look at the prequel trilogy itself, and going back to what you were talking about with the humor, a lot of our humor that we grew up with was very slapsticky humor.
Yeah.
Hence why Jar Jar is so over the top in the
Yeah.
Phantom Menace. He's over the top and getting himself hurt because that's slapstick humor. It
Yeah. It's
happens.
physical comedy.
Yes. And for people to get upset about that is just bull.
Yeah.
Um, I just want to look at chat here real quick. Amanda
Yeah.
says High Republic books are fire. Yes, they are. John says Death
Mhm.
Star waffle maker. I feel you on that purchase. I've got the Death Star waffle maker and the Millennium Falcon waffle maker. So
Nice.
yes. Amanda once again says Visions is just so incredible. Ninth Jedi was just fantastic, and I want more. I think we all want more from the Ninth Jedi on Visions. Uh, and then
Yeah.
Maggie, that's the great thing about Star Wars right now, though. They are releasing a huge amount of content. So if one thing isn't your vibe, there's so much more content right now. There's something for everyone. Yeah, I think that we are all in agreement here that Kathleen Kennedy is going nowhere.
Yeah.
Fans just need to shut the hell up
Yeah.
and just enjoy what you enjoy and just shut up and let us enjoy what we enjoy.
Live and let live. It is
Exactly.
very easy to do.
And don't be a racist, don't be a
Yeah.
fascist, and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Pardon my
Pretty
language.
much.
I'm sorry. I'm going off the deep end here, but just don't be a dick.
Yeah. It's a very easy concept to get behind.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways.
Anyways, so there's a gift guide up on starwars.com, a holiday gift
Mhm.
guide. And I think we should just roll through these real quick before we get into
Yeah.
our big thing. So do you want to go through these?
Yeah, for sure.
All
So
right.
it's on starwars.com, and if you just
Yes.
use the little search bar, just gift guide, holiday gift guide. First things first, A very good-looking Boba Fett jacket by Columbia. So obviously it's a very expensive jacket, and I'm sad about it. I also live
Yes.
in Arizona, and I will never need it, but it looks really cool.
It does. It really does. I bet you that's going to be about a $250 jacket.
Oh yeah, for sure. We have the Star Wars Year by Year Visual History New Edition by DK Publishing. I really want this.
Yeah.
I love encyclopedias. I love visual dictionaries. I have a bunch of them on my bookshelf behind me. Very, very excited and very much need that.
Yeah, it looks like a cool coffee table book.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Making this into a t-shirt, pre-orders are now alive.
Beautiful.
Um, yeah, but yeah, that definitely looks like a coffee table book. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
My favorite book that I haven't read yet, Star Wars: The High Republic, Light of the Jedi. I promise I'm gonna read this and get into this uh you know, content. I just sit down to read every night and my brain is applesauce and I
Yeah.
just can't. So, but I'm going to.
Have you thought about
Um
audio?
See, so here's the thing.
Did
Is I will astral project into another dimension and miss like 45 minutes of the book because
Okay.
I am very good at zoning out. Otherwise, I absolutely would.
Okay.
Um, Maybe it's something that I'll grab and like listen to on my drive, like to and from work or
Hmm.
something to like,
Yeah.
help augment the experience. But
Yeah.
yeah, I come home and I just sit in this chair right here, kick my feet up on my table, and then time travel like an hour. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess that was me chilling out after work.
No, that's fine.
um,
Didn't mean to
yeah.
cut you off. Um,
Oh, no, you're fine.
um,
Next we have got the Kawakian monkey lizard, which you can get probably off of Shop Disney as well, but
yes.
people get them a lot in the Disney parks. It's the little one that articulates and sits on your shoulder. I kind of want that. I kind of want to sit him right here and just make him sassy when we're talking.
Yeah. So a friend of the show, Cam Ray from Cam Ray Semi Productions, has
Hmm.
a Kawakian monkey lizard. He got the blue and yellow one from Galaxy's Edge, and he named
Yeah,
him Bub. So
Bub.
like he does skits with Bub every once in a while.
Aw, I like that.
Bub even has his own Twitter account. He is
Amazing.
Supreme Chancellor Bub of the Galactic Republic.
Yes. That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes, he's great. It's so funny. But the Kawaki monkey lizard's really cool. Uh
Hmm.
it's kind of creepy in person. When you see
Oh,
it in
I'm sure.
person, yeah, it's kind of creepy.
I've
Um
seen them from afar when I was at Batu, and I didn't go over into like that booth store area. But yeah, they're, as with most of the weird little critters
mhm.
from Star Wars, like we were talking about how it's kind of hard to make Grogu not intensely creepy in plush form.
Yeah, you mean
Um,
this thing?
yeah, adorable, but also terrifying,
Yeah.
you know,
He's got his trick or treat bag.
which is very cute.
Yeah. All right,
Oh,
buddy.
I forgot I was gonna have my Grogu
Oh, yes,
on my
yes.
lap.
These
Here he is.
are
He's massive.
yes. So these are your emotional support Grogus that you're
Yes.
gonna need for every show from now on.
Yes.
Especially when we talk about Kathleen Kennedy.
Right.
Um, yes. But back to Kawaki Monkey Lizard. Buddy, you're gonna have to no, no, you're gonna have to go down there. Okay? You're just gonna have to go to the couch. Okay, bud? All right.
There we go.
Yeah. Um, Maggie says I started with the audio for the High Republic and listened to each book about 3 times and finally bought the hardcovers, and I think it really helped me easily get into the stories. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I know John listened to the audiobook for Light of the Jedi, and he said about halfway through, gotta go. Have a good night, you too. Thank you, Amanda, for stopping by. Seriously, thank you. That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you for stopping by. Um, I know John listened to Light of the Jedi, and he
Hmm.
said when he got to the second half of the book, the audiobook really picked up for
Okay.
him. But I would just try to read the hardcover, honestly, or the soft cover, or whatever it is that you have. I would just try to
Yeah.
read it some more. Um, Kawakian Monkey Lizard.
Yes.
Yes.
What's next? Oh, I was talking about this earlier. Erin Condren holiday themed planners. I
Yes.
have one of the Erin Condren. This thing is it's thick. It is a thick planner, and I am very much visual, so it was great. I got the most detailed one, and mine has Leia on the front of it when she came out
Nice.
with, or they came out with the collection earlier in the year.
Hmm.
But they're coming out with really cute new little covers and stuff. I would definitely recommend checking those out if you are like me and visualizing your planning, budgeting, et cetera, is helpful. Definitely check out Erin Condren's planners.
Yeah, they're all really cool looking. I think my favorite might be the one with like the Tauntaun and the Jawas and
Yeah,
Greedo.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cute. They have obviously a Baby Yoda one.
The
They
gingerbread
have
one's cute.
the gingerbread one is really cute.
Yeah.
Bunch of good stuff there though. Again, I cannot recommend her planners enough. Erin Condren, sponsor me, please. Thank you. Then we've got, it looks like women's workout gear with
Yes.
stormtroopers on it. Kind of cool. Kind of
Yeah.
want that a lot.
It's kind of like an ugly sweater workout gear.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I like it. I would
Yeah.
take it.
Speaking of ugly sweaters,
Matching Mando Holiday Family Sleepwear by Hannah Anderson.
I think we should get those
I
and,
agree.
and do that sometime.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. We can
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Ooh, organic cotton knit.
Ooh.
Galactic Snackin' Grogu by Hasbro.
Uh,
Um, it looks like it's one of those things where like you put the cookie in its hand or by its mouth and maybe it like makes a noise or something, but it comes with like the little blue macaroon looking cookie. Oh, place a variety of treats in his mouth and he'll let you know what he thinks. Fair.
Great.
Great.
Does it come with creepy spiders too?
Oh God, no, I hate it. I hate that episode made my skin
Oh,
crawl.
I know. Then we have this next one is actually pretty cool. This next
Mhm.
one's pretty cool. Um, that's the Ahsoka Tano embroidered open cardigan from her universe. Um,
I
which
really want this.
yes, I want to get it for my wife. My wife is a huge fan of her universe, and like
Yeah.
all their stuff is really high quality.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
if you're unfamiliar with her universe, it is a clothing line that Ashley Eckstein came up with. The original voice of Ahsoka Tano came up with, and
Mhm.
it's been around for like over 10 years, I think, at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Uh,
spider episode was rough.
yes.
True, John. As
Yes.
we like to say in my house, and it's a quote from Avatar: The Last Airbender, stuff like that is rough, buddy. And it was a rough buddy episode.
Mhm. Actually, Maggie has the cardigan.
Ooh,
She says, I have it and it's super comfy and not too heavy. 10 out of 10.
good to know.
Yes.
Probably a good Arizona cardigan.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Maggie, I'm representing my third favorite quick service place. You may recognize this. Is this place in Disneyland too?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, is Casey's Corner in
Oh,
Disneyland?
Casey's. I don't recognize the name. It
Okay.
might be something that's in like DCA. I don't know.
All right. But yes, Casey's Corner, best hot dogs in Disney World.
Oh, is that what that is? There's like a hot dog place in DCA that I've never gone to, but I've always wanted to try. And it might be Casey's Corner. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now.
I'll take a look at the app later. I don't
Yeah.
care. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt the cardigan thing.
You're
Um,
good.
then what's
Uh,
next?
oh, then we have got some A New Hope lightsaber drinkware. It says, I find your lack of faith disturbing. That's pretty cool.
Yes, it has a
Pretty cool.
lightsaber.
Yeah. Got a Grogu beanie next.
Yeah,
I I love Baby Yoda as much as the next person. Truly, I do. But
yeah,
there is a lot of Baby Yoda merch out there. That's
Yeah,
all I'm gonna say.
no, that's something that Dana and I talked about. I just want to, talk about this real quick.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, he's oversaturated the market.
a little
Um,
bit.
it's fun to see him every once in a while, but I'm tired of him getting a reprint figure like every 6 months when
There
they
are
could.
654,000 Grogu pops.
Yes,
We're good.
or like another Grogu Black Series that I don't need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, there is a link, starwars.com. Actually, we can put that in chat real quick. Can
I
you
can
put that
grab
in
it.
chat?
Yeah.
Thank you. We're gonna put that in chat. It's at starwars.com,
Oh, wait.
where you can actually see that article. It's pretty cool. While you're doing that, I'll actually bring up the next item or talk about the next item.
I
And
don't have a YouTube channel, so I can't join the chat. I thought I.
oh, it's okay. Here, I can do it.
Okay, sorry. I'm like, what the
No, you're
heck?
fine. Let me just go to YouTube real quick. There we go. Let
My
me
dog
do
is like whining
this.
incessantly outside of my
Oh,
door right now, and I
nice.
don't know why.
Here we go. There's the link to that. Um, yeah. Every single store I walk into, the Star Wars section is all Grogu and like three items that are generic. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Found it. Okay.
Hmm.
Then the next thing was the AT-AT from Lego, which you're welcome.
I wanted this so bad, but I did not have AT-AT massive Lego money yesterday.
$800.
And had I had 800 spare dollars, I absolutely would have bought that. Absolutely. But
Yeah,
alas, I am a poor millennial.
and it's sold out too.
Mhm.
Yeah, the thing
For
sold
sure.
out.
Yeah.
Um, we were talking about a buddy of ours named Pat was talking about getting it so that he could get the Luke Skywalker lightsaber and then flip the AT-AT for like even more.
There you go.
And I was just like, I wouldn't even like risk that to be honest,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
I mean, how fast that sold out. The Millennium Falcon sold out pretty fast. This sold out faster than the
Crazy.
Falcon. Yeah,
And like it's going to be good. It's a UCS set. Like
yeah,
the amount of detail, even just into some of the smaller sets, but especially like the larger UCS sets, it's going to be super detailed. It's going to be a really intensive build, and that's great. And I think
yeah.
it's so cool, and I would have bought it, but I'm just like, dude, I don't have $800 to spend on this.
Yes, that is true. I do not either. Um, I'm pretty sure that thing would probably take me about a month
Yeah, for real.
because of working and having a life and all that other
How
stuff.
many pieces is it? I need
It
to know this
it's close to
actually.
7,000 pieces. It was
Okay,
six,
that's right.
s-
6,000 and some change.
yeah, it was 6,700 and like 85 pieces.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm usually a big Lego person, but I'm very against the set. It's ridiculously overpriced in my opinion. No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
It's way too overpriced. Way too overpriced.
I really do want the UCS Republic gunship, and I think that's
Hmm.
closer to like 354, which like
Yeah.
I would feel less like I was going to like pee my pants if I spent like 350 on Legos as opposed to like the better part of $1,000.
Yeah. Let me see here. Actually, I'm actually gonna look up the price for the Lego gunship real quick while you continue on if you want to.
Yeah. So next is a Grogu Soft and Fuzzy plush by Mattel. Really cute. It just looks like a kid's toy, whatever. It looks very fluffy and soft.
Yep.
This, which I think is really cool, Darth Vader silver coin by New Zealand Mint. It's the first in a new series, Star Wars Faces of the Empire coin collection. Limited edition, 10,000 of them. It's just a square coin with Darth Vader on it, but it comes in a really cool looking box, and I like it.
No, it's really cool. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool. Real quick, So I looked at it on Amazon. On
Yeah.
Amazon, the gunship is going for 4.99.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's because it's through Amazon because I was at the Lego store and I thought I saw like a 350, 400 price tag on it. I could also be misremembering that because I do that.
I'm gonna look at it right now while you continue.
Cool. Next we have the Mandalorian Beskar Xbox bundle by Razer,
I
which
love
looks
this
really
thing.
cool. I'm
Yes.
not gonna lie, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
oh
want it.
yeah, it has like Mando writing on it. I don't know. It just looks really cool. I don't have an Xbox. Um, but I still think it looks really dope.
Yeah, it's really cool. I can't actually find this thing on the Lego store here. I found this Star Destroyer.
Gunship is 350 on Lego. Oh, okay. According to
Oh, is
Maggie,
it?
it's 350 on Lego,
Oh,
but
okay. Okay. So yeah, it
I
must have
would
been a markup.
I would still feel a little bit nauseous spending that much money on Lego, but a lot less than I would for the AT-AT.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of heartburn over it, but I wouldn't be like, whew, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah. No, I agree. Um, and yeah, Maggie, I know that I said this in the Discord. It just looks way too much like the $200 one that I have. Yeah,
Yeah, it's very similar.
it really is. And you get more figures, I think, with the $200 one too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, this next one's really cool.
Boba Fett slippers.
Yeah. Who doesn't want Boba Fett slippers?
Right.
Yeah,
I'd buy him. I like funny slippers.
I would too. I'd wear them on Christmas Day.
Heck yeah.
OMG, I'm jumping ahead, but this Dark Side bedding collection, adult Star Wars bedding, that doesn't look like a kid's bed set. Yes, I think that was after the Grogu stocking.
Yeah,
Uh,
Grogu stocking, cute. Grogu
yeah,
stocking.
yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, this bedding set.
It's really cool.
I know.
It's really
I
cool.
want it
And
for our bed.
we need new bedding. Uh and I'm like a lot of our house, like mine and my fiance's kind of decor aesthetic is like kind of spooky. We have a lot of black. We have a lot of the Halloween adjacent things in our house. Um but I feel like he'd be really down for this.
Hmm.
And I really want to send it to him and be like, "Hey, what if this bedding?"
Yeah. Um, I would pull the trigger on it, to be honest with
Yeah,
you, because I mean, just that comforter alone is,
seriously.
yeah, just that
It
comforter
looks
alone
so
is
cool.
worth it. Especially those pillows. Oh, those pillows.
God, I love the pillows so much.
Yes. Yes. Maggie says, yeah, it came with Luke, two snowtroopers, two AT-AT pilots or drivers, and one or two Imperial officers. Yeah, I know General Veers is in the set.
That's on the $200 set?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Um, but yeah, that betting set. Oh, I need it.
Really
Like,
cool.
yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah, we got, like I said, we got the light side ones for our wedding.
Mm,
So we have the Millennium Falcon bedspread and like all that stuff. And then we
yeah.
got Porg pillowcases. Yes.
My friend Chippy crocheted me a stuffed porg that's about
Oh,
yay big,
nice.
and he's sitting on my see down there, but he's very cute.
That's awesome. 279. Is that how much that bed set is?
That's like not bad for like a full set. I actually really like
Let's see here.
open link in new tab.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Shop the Dark Side collection. 7-piece set. Actually, yeah, that's not bad. 7-piece bedding collection's 279. That's really not that bad.
Oh.
That is really
Ooh.
not that bad. I
See.
mean, I like that black
Yeah.
a lot. Uh, and
Classic shape.
then
Okay.
and then we got more Grogu stuff here. We got a necklace.
Yeah. It's
Eh,
cute.
yeah, nothing to really write home about.
Yeah.
And then we got some art from Thomas Kincaid Studios, which I would get the Grogu and Mando one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I would get the Razor Crest one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Um,
Um, I do need more Star Wars art. I have one
yeah.
poster. You probably yeah, you can't see it in my shot here, but I have
Mhm.
one Clone Wars poster and I really want more Star Wars art.
Uh-huh. Yeah, oh, me too. Me too. I'm always down for good Star Wars art. I'm always down for it.
279 for the full queen, 299 for the king. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
A King 299? That's really not bad.
Yeah. Sorry, I did
Yeah.
not mean to cut you off, by the way. I
No,
was
you're
just reading your
fine.
comment.
You're fine. Um, yeah, so good gift guide. Very,
Yeah.
very solid gift
Yeah.
guide. Of course, there's going to be other gifts coming out as well. Keep an eye on your Black Series. They're always
Mhm.
rolling through, and Vintage Collection. Also,
Yeah.
also like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Steam will always do sales on Star Wars games.
Yep.
So get ready for that. And then you can also get your favorite person a subscription to Star Wars The Old Republic because the Sith expansion is going to be coming out very soon. I
Mhm.
believe that is in December that they're going to be
Yeah, I
releasing
believe
that.
so. Yeah,
Yes, so there is that as well. And shopdisney.com has a bunch of stuff. Amazon has a
always.
bunch of stuff. So yeah, Star Wars gifts, and I think that maybe we should do that when we get a little bit closer to Christmas. Kind of do like a gift guide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a gift guide from yours truly.
yeah, exactly. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
So are we ready to roll into our main topic here?
Well, we did skip over one thing, and it's
Oh, we
very
did.
short.
Yes,
Andor
yes.
is
I
done filming. It is
forgot about that.
slated for release. No, no, you're good. I literally just looked up and I was like, oh, we didn't talk about that. Andor is slated for release in Q4 of
Hmm.
next year, and their fiscal year means that Q4 will be anywhere from late July through I believe it goes through the beginning of October, but they're predicting a July or September release for Andor, which I think is going to be really cool. It's going to give us more
Hmm.
Rogue One content, and I'm very excited for that.
Oh, me too. I think gift guide with a smidgen less Grogu. Yeah,
Just a scotch. Just a
yes,
scotch less
J-
Grogu.
just a little bit. Um, no, I think that this is great because I think this is the series that you need after Kenobi.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
because you can totally release this. You can release the first episode of Andor the same week that you release the Kenobi finale.
Mhm.
I still think they're going to wait until after Celebration to release Kenobi,
Yeah, unfortunately.
but July actually works for Andor.
Yeah.
Because I think September, October is probably going to be your Mando season 3.
Yep. I
Um,
agree.
and then you'll get Ahsoka probably January or February of 2023. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Um,
somewhere the Bad Batch is going to be sprinkled in on top of that.
the Bad Batch is different because you can put the Bad Batch anywhere while
Yeah.
releasing these live action shows.
Yeah.
Um, because it's its own thing,
Yeah.
and you're not going to distract from the live action show being released.
That's true. That's very
Yeah.
true.
Um, so actually,
Speaking of the Bad Batch.
yes. Yeah, so speaking of the Bad Batch, this is actually going to bring us into our main topic where we're going to try to bridge these lovable misfits and the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes. How
And
will it tie in, if at all? What are our predictions?
yeah, and I would love for you to actually kick this off because I know that you have thoughts and predictions.
So it's interesting to me that they made such a point of showing and telling us that Omega, pardon me,
Omega.
Omega is the only other unaltered genetic clone of Jango Fett besides Boba.
Yeah.
That ties us into Boba's name was originally Alpha. She is Omega, meaning beginning and end. So we know that she's the last. We think, we assume, based
Yeah.
on that. Um, it is very interesting that it wasn't just like oh, she's unaltered. It's, oh, she's unaltered like Boba is.
Hmm.
They made that very they really kind of bolded that statement. Like
Hmm.
it's unmissable. I know that, or I don't know that. What we have been told, we've gotten inklings of the fact that season 2 of The Bad Batch is going to be a bit of a time jump. I'm personally hoping to see Omega get her own little set of armor. I think that'd be
Hmm.
really cute. I wonder how much of a time jump it is, truly. Whether it's like a year, 5 years, like where are we going with this? Um, a lot of people are saying that they're hoping to either see Omega in Book of Boba Fett or get some kind of reference to her. I
Yeah.
don't I don't know if I want to see Omega. I have not decided whether I want that, and I think this is coming from me purely being such a fan of the Clone Wars. We got
Excuse me.
the season finale of The Bad Batch.
Hmm.
Obviously, Camino was destroyed. Like that truly is kind of signifying the end of that era, et cetera, et cetera.
Spoilers.
If you have not seen it yet, I do not know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Um, I don't know. I'm internally thinking maybe I don't want to see it because it's going to be so far in the future that we know that it's very likely that the Bad Batch would be dead by then. That makes me sad. The idea of that makes me sad.
Yeah.
That's I think I'm like pontificating that that might be why I am unsure whether I want to see her, but I think it would be a cool reference
Hmm.
only because we've seen with all of the animated content that Boba Fett feels very different and alone and not part of the regular clone soldiers, and it could potentially be kind of cool to see him know that he has like a sister of
Hmm.
sorts, and we do see his kind of difference in demeanor from being like normal bounty hunter to like I intend to rule with respect. So yeah, that's kind of my thought on it. It could be really cool. I think if they did it right, it would be really cool. I am undecided as to whether I personally want to see that, like see her in it, but maybe a reference. I So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Maggie says, I think and hope that Omega will be making an appearance.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat here. They like made such a point to emphasize who she was
Hmm.
in the Bad Batch that like while I was sitting there and I was just thinking to myself, well, while I'm watching this, I'm like they're making a point to drive home that she's Boba Fett's sister.
Right.
Like, and what live action shows coming next? The Book of Boba Fett. Like, I was just thinking you're a fool if you don't incorporate her somehow.
Yeah.
Uh, Even if it's just a name drop.
Right.
Yeah, even if it's just a name drop. If the Book of Boba Fett goes another season, maybe you can bring her into season two.
Right.
Uh, I don't think she needs to be in season one.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think she needs to be in it to drive home the connection. Again, like you said, even if it's just a name drop, like
Hmm.
something something my sister or whatever. Um,
Yeah,
Maggie said, "Well, Rex is alive on Endor and he's older than the Batch, so there's always hope." True.
that is
And he's
true.
always alive in my heart too.
Love you, buddy. Uh,
Right.
Maggie also says, I really do love Omega though, and my friends and I have many, many theories. Uh,
I do love Omega.
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 Yeah, I think. she's gonna be she's the biggest wild card when it comes to the Bad Batch,
Hmm.
because she's the one that has the most connections to this show,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
because of that storyline. Now, if they don't bring in Omega, or I mean Omega,
Amiga.
um, another character that you can bring in to tie in the Bad Batch even more, give us live action Cad Bane.
I will say this. Live action Cad Bane might end up being visually terrifying.
It could be.
Just because he is such an interesting looking character in animation. But I would love to have Cad Bane in Book of Boba Fett. I love
Hmm.
Cad Bane. I love that cowboy hat brim size directly correlates to level of cowboyism. It is I love his character. I would love to see him.
Yeah.
I just hope that he is not horrifying looking because we harken back to live action Kit Fisto and that is the stuff of nightmares. Is an eldritch beast.
Yes, he really is. Not unlike sexy Kit Fisto from the Clone Wars.
They drew him, and they drew him well.
they, they did. They really did. Yeah, he's like your other connection between these two shows.
Hmm.
And you could even bring in Sid
Yeah,
because she deals with the underworld. Like you could definitely bring in Sid.
I didn't even actually think about that. She's definitely like in the same kind of like she probably runs in the same circles.
Yeah. Um, I would be okay if I didn't see Hunter and Wrecker and all of them,
Yeah,
because I think that they need to just stick to this show.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Not everything needs to necessarily. I love when there are little bits of connections, but not
yeah,
everything necessarily has to have it. And it makes a lot of sense in, stuff like Clone Wars moving into the Bad Batch, where it
hmm,
is the spiritual successor and continuing the same story.
yeah,
And yes, that obviously Omega has a connection to Boba in that sense, but it does not necessarily have to rely on bringing in other characters to
hmm,
make it an interesting show.
yeah. I totally agree, and I think that this is something that if you're gonna bring in the Bad Batch or bring in more references to it, if you don't kill Admiral Rampart, I think he would be an interesting character to bring in, kind of like for
Yeah,
Imperial remnants and stuff,
yeah.
because you're still
Hate that
cleaning up
guy.
the yeah, because you're still cleaning up the Imperial remnants.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I think that that would be interesting. Of course, you can't bring in Tarkin because Tarkin's dead at this point. Um, but yeah, this is one of those things where what other tie-ins could there be?
Besides kind of those
Yeah.
those two, really. I mean, we obviously already have Fennec. That's a huge one.
No, yeah.
Um, we have the quote unquote connection between Boba and Omega,
Hmm.
and Cad Bane's just out there doing Cad Bane things. So that would be something that he could show up and it would make sense. It would not feel like forced or weird.
Hmm.
But I really don't know. And I guess Sid, yeah, you mentioned Sid. Like that's
Yeah.
something that would make sense. It would not just be like beeline, here's a random side story that doesn't really fit in type of thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of characters that we've talked about, like the possibility of Doc Ondar, like the possibility of Bosk, like the possibility of Din Djarin, like those aren't connected really to the Bad Batch at all.
No.
So, and those are characters that would make sense to show up, but there's really no, it doesn't like harken back to anything to do with the Bad Batch.
Well, I want to read Maggie's thing here real quick, and then I'm going to ask this question here. Maggie says, I'm not sure how much of his bounty hunter gang is still alive at this point, but I would love to see or hear about all of them, like Dengar, Embo, the rest of them.
Yeah.
Embo would be fun.
Embo would be
Embo,
cool.
yeah, Embo would be really cool, especially in live action. Um, my question to you now is, could we get Kaminoan scientists in the Book of Boba Fett?
That's actually what I was wondering, and I meant to Wikipedia if there's any canon lifespan on Kaminoans
Hmm.
because, as we saw at the end of Bad Batch, they were walking Nalase into the Imperial base.
Hmm.
And I don't know if she's old or young at this point. She definitely seems younger than like Halle Bertoni and like Lama Su and all of them, but I don't know how old she is. Is she still kicking at the time that Book of Boba Fett takes place? That could be something really interesting because I feel like there's a lot of unexplored, and this could be just me, like, I guess, headcanoning stuff, but I feel like there's the potential for a lot of unexplored kind of like emotion behind how Boba feels about Camino, the Kaminoans. Like, again,
Yeah.
he obviously feels very othered in compared to the clone troopers and everything that happened with his dad.
Hmm.
That could be a really interesting kind of angle to bring in to the show.
Yeah, because you have to address the elephant in the room here. Like, Boba has started to address his past, like be
Hmm.
it Clone Wars and even in the Mandalorian, he addressed it a little bit.
Where
Um,
he said, like, my father and Bo was like, don't you mean you're downer?
yeah, but I would love to see, like, even if he could like explore the wreckage of Camino at some point,
Yeah.
like tie it in that way. I know that this is supposed to be your criminal underground like show,
Hmm.
but we're all here to learn more about Boba Fett.
Yeah. The guy really is kind of like a mystery in a lot of ways to us because we don't see so much between the Clone Wars era and the original trilogy era, and then nothing really from that up until Mando.
Yeah,
All we know is that he somehow lost his armor, he got it back, and he still has his starship. Like, that's
yeah,
really all we know at this point.
yeah. I mean, I would love to see him like try to figure out more of the mystery of who he is and where he comes from, and like
Mhm.
that would be another interesting way to tease Omega for season 2.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
Maggie says, I want to say Kaminoans have a long lifespan. Jarl Proof is on the Council in the High Republic and in the prequels, so it's very possible that Kaminoan scientists are still alive. That
I'm
is
gonna do a quick
true.
googs.
Yes. A Googs.
A googs.
Hey, Google.
Google.
Um, but yeah, that is true because, and I totally forgot about that, Maggie. That's a great point. Jarl Proof, I totally butchered his name,
Ah,
um, is on the Jedi Council in the High Republic. He is one of the High Council members. So
uh,
yes.
average lifespan up to 80 standard years old. That's let
Oh,
me. That was not off Wikipedia though, so and
oh.
uh go away.
What do you think, buddy? No. Okay.
Oh, that apparently is up to 80 standard years old according to Wikipedia. This where the heck?
Well, that's interesting
Yeah,
because the High Republic is set 200 years before the prequels.
yeah.
So maybe they could have lived to it, but because of medical experimentation,
Ah,
they
that's
reduced their
that's
lifespan.
a very valid point. Yes.
Or the stress of creating an army of just the same dude over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but another question that I have here is, will we see any Force users in the Book of Boba Fett? I'm hoping not.
I'm hoping not as well. And that's not because I don't love my Force users, but we have so much content surrounding Force users, Sith, Jedi, everything in between. And I really, really did like that after Clone Wars going into Bad Batch, it was all like non-Force user centric.
Hmm.
I loved that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm really hoping that it is just criminal underworld and that's the
Yeah.
show. That's it. That's the show, and maybe a whispering of a Sith here or a Jedi there or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but I really do hope that it's centric to non-Force users.
Yeah. John and I were talking about this with the Bad Batch originally, and how we thought uh, we jumped on board with a lot of other people thinking that Omega was a Palpatine clone.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's that poster.
Yeah.
There's that poster of her standing
Hmm.
doing the very mild sleazy sheave smile and doing like the clasped hands in front.
Hmm.
And I was just like, that's it. And people were saying like she's like a taskmaster kind of thing. People
Yeah.
were saying she's more sensitive. People were saying she's a Palpatine clone. And I mean, I can see why people would get that. She is very pale-skinned and blonde, and she's supposed to be a clone of Tamara Morrison, who plays Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Dark hair, tan skin.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to explore in why
Hmm.
she looks that way, or if it's just, I mean, Rex came out blonde too, so there's that. But
Yeah.
genuinely, like, there's so much unanswered, and I am hoping that it's answered more in season two.
Mm.
Um, but I'm just really hoping that Book of Boba Fett is just really, really non-Force user centric.
Yeah, me too. Maggie says Wikipedia says Jarl Proof was born 232 before Yavin and died in 22 years before Yavin. Maybe something that'll be explored in
Ah,
Bad Batch season 2. And then also says, yeah, I can do without Force users as well. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm happy with the content that I'm getting with Force users,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
I just really just need this to be about the seedy underbelly of the galaxy.
I want this to be Mandalorian mobsters so
Yeah,
bad.
exactly. Um, I want that to happen. I, I think that like it's hard to connect the Bad Batch to this show without Omega.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, and like I said, I mean, you can do it with Sid, you can do it with Cad Bane. You already do it with Fennec Shand,
Yeah,
but like I said, I don't want to see the Bad Batch in the show.
no, I
Uh,
agree.
I don't even want to see Captain Rex in this show.
I agree.
Don't give me any clones outside of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
because I think that, yeah, we should explore his past, but at the same time, we really need to, this is a way to pave the future here.
Yeah,
This is a way to get us to see. It's interesting. This show is supposed to show us how badass Boba Fett really is.
yeah.
And The Mandalorian has done a fantastic job of showing us that.
Hmm.
But remember, when we first met Boba Fett, we're like, who's this badass? And then he goes out in such a terrible way
Yep.
that, this is his redemption show.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and I feel like if they connected it too much to the Bad Batch, it would just bog it down.
I agree. Yeah. I think
Um,
if there's any
yeah.
reference or crossing of characters, it should be done sparingly.
Yeah, and do it in a later season. Like,
Yeah.
don't throw all of it at us in season 1.
Hmm.
The one character I would love to see in this first season, and if there's more than a first season, that's awesome. If it's just one season, I'm okay with this too. Bring in Kira.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that's who I also thought that they cropped out of that photo too.
Oh, interesting. That
Yeah,
would be a very interesting connection.
I would love to see Kira. You
Yeah.
could even bring in like Dr. Afra. Like you could bring in like
Yeah.
all of these characters. Like this is your time to like really just bring in like these seedy underbelly comic book characters
Right.
that we've all gotten to know and love in the comics,
Hmm.
and bring them into live action and show us what's going on.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
don't bog it down with the Bad Batch. Like Kaminoan scientists, I'm okay with.
Yeah. It's something that would make sense.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but yeah, the whole just the whole thing with Omega
I mean,
and just I'm done. I mean, I can't wait for Bad Batch season 2,
yeah, for
but
sure.
I don't need her in this. And
No.
I don't know. Are we walking around in circles here talking
A
about
little
this?
bit, but you know
Yeah.
what? It's okay.
it's a
This
it's
is
the
our show.
ADHD. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right? Whew.
Um but I mean, I can't really do any predictions because they haven't really given us much.
They really haven't. Like, we know Boba Fett's back on Tatooine, he's got Fennec with
Yeah.
him, and he's taken over in Jabba's place.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah, and like even then like the thing that we got today, that was just a TV spot pretty much. It
Yeah,
was a
it
30
really
second
was.
TV spot. Just and it pretty much just gave us what we already saw in that trailer.
Mhm. It was
Um
just a pared down version of it.
yeah, that's all it is. It's just a watered down version. It's a TV spot. That's what TV spots do.
Yeah.
Um I feel like this is just one of those shows that the less we know the better.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree on that. I'm would my background stop doing this? I am so annoyed right now. I agree that it's the less we know the better because Boba Fett is relatively in comparison to a lot of other characters very unexplored.
Yeah, I totally agree. And this is the time to do it. This is the time to like really bring in those unexplored characters.
Ugh,
I think we're good on Book of Boba Fett.
I agree.
We are gonna do, of course, we're doing episode breakdowns for this, so don't worry
Hmm.
about that. We're gonna give you all of those. And then,
Yes.
I mean, every show that's coming out this year, we're doing all of these
Oh yeah.
reviews for. And when I say this year, I mean 2022 and beyond.
This
But
coming year, this
yes,
next 12 months.
yes. But we're gonna cover all of it. So don't
Yeah.
worry. You're gonna hear our wacky predictions. You're gonna hear our wacky theories about who or who isn't a Palpatine. I'm calling it
I
right
will.
now. He, Boba Fett is a Palpatine.
Boba Fett's Palpatine.
Yeah.
Done and done.
Yes. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I will cry a lot over Kenobi, so be prepared for
Yes.
that.
Oh no, I'm going to probably as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's that's it. I think that we had some pretty good discussions when it comes to this.
Yeah.
I think the Kathleen Kennedy discussion needed to be. We needed to talk about all of that
Yeah.
with that discussion because with her, there's definitely a toxic side that needs to be addressed.
Yep.
Um,
Very much so.
Yes, I'm very excited for all the new stuff. So exciting. Yeah, we're excited too. Like we talk about how excited we are. Like
Yeah.
we we do. And this is the tip of the iceberg. We are going through a Star Wars content renaissance that has just started.
Seriously. Yeah.
Um I think Disney taking over this thing was the smartest thing,
Yeah. I
especially when
don't
it
think we
comes
would
to
have gotten half of what we're getting had that not happened.
exactly. Um so yeah, that's gonna be it for this week. Next week, we are gonna be doing what was it? The top five.
Star Wars What If top 5 things you would want to
Yes.
see. So we're each gonna make a list of the top 5 if we ever got a What If Star Wars show, what we would want to see out of it.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about this because this is gonna be very, very different. Also next week we should do the gift guide next week too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
let's do that next week.
yeah. So we're gonna be doing the gift guide. We're gonna be doing the top five what if for Star Wars. Which Visions was already kind of like a what if type
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, like if they truly did a what if, like this is
Hmm.
what we would like to see. And yeah, whatever news happens, we'll cover it, and that's
Yeah.
about it. Our announcements. Uh, Come by on Monday night. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna relax. We are gonna be doing our RPG. I know John's excited. I'm excited. The rest of our cast is excited. So stay tuned for that. That will be this Monday night. And that's it for us this week. I know we
Yeah.
didn't go the full 2 hours, but sometimes you just don't, and that's okay.
Sometimes there's no more to be said, and that's a-okay.
Yeah, exactly. But we are going to be getting your December schedule lined up here very, very shortly. So I'm going to be working on that this week. No show on Christmas, though. No show for Christmas. Because
Yes.
we are
Sorry.
going to be no, that's fine. I was going to talk to you about that, but yeah, we're
Yeah.
not going to be doing a show for Christmas.
I
Because
will be doing Christmas on Christmas.
yes, yes, I will be doing Christmas on Christmas as well. Yeah, so we are going to be doing that. But we'll be there for New Year's. That's going to be
Hmm.
our next show after that. So that's yeah, yeah. We'll make sure we're drinking some hair of the dog that day.
Yeah. Agreed.
Uh, and getting emotional over Boba Fett. Uh,
Yes.
that is it for us this week, my friends. I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Uh, well, we'll see you Monday night.
Mm.
We'll see you Monday night, but hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Hope that you have a wonderful evening. And may the force be with you. May you always fight for light in life. And remember, at the end of the day, except for John, we are all the Republic. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.